Welcome to my channel. My name is Shay, and this channel is all about helping you become more organized and productive in your life and your business. Today I'm going to talk to you about 2 hacks to help you become more productive. And those 2 hacks are time blocking and task batching. Generally, you hear about those terms kind of interchangeably. However, they are different, but they can be used together. I'm going to start with task batching. Task batching is a generalized time you give to specific tasks. For example, if you want to get 3 videos done in one afternoon, you have a specific task and a specific amount of tasks, but a generalized period of time to do that in. Some of the ways task batching can be useful is if you want to get ahead, if you're just starting in your content creating, you can batch a bunch of content in the beginning. That way you can have stuff prepared so that you can stay consistent if you get sick or if you need to go out of town. Or if you have a team and you have like somebody on your editing staff who's going to go away for a little bit, you can batch those videos in the beginning. That way, once they go out of town, you can have that content still available so you can continue to be consistent. Another way that task batching can be useful is if you're doing things like content creation or anything where you have to knock out a certain number of tasks, but those tasks don't always take the same amount of time. So for videos, sometimes it'll take me an hour to put together a video, and sometimes it'll take me 3 hours to put together a video. My first video took me about 3 hours to put together. So when I was task batching the first 2 or 3 videos, it took me a good amount of time, and I wasn't sure how long exactly that time period would be. So batching all of those together and just knocking them all out was more effective than putting together 2 hours one day and then turning off my creativity and going back to that 2 hours the next day. I also use task batching in forms of creating each day will be a different topic. So my Mondays I generally leave open, that way I can knock out any fires from any of my business projects that happened over the weekend. Tuesdays I deal with emails. Wednesdays I deal with my social and I do any lives on Wednesdays. On Thursdays I deal with client calls or any client interactions. Fridays I deal with any social networking, so that's replying to any comments or just reaching out on other social platforms. I also take care of any research for my clients on Fridays. So generally right after I have the phone calls on Thursdays, I'll have a list of things that I want to research to make sure that I'm ready for our next call the following week, and I'll do those on Fridays. On Saturdays, I tend to have that whole day available, so I use that for any content creation or any last minute put togethers on all of my content. I generally schedule out most of my content, so I like to have it ready to go, but I also leave some room for flexibility because sometimes, just an idea just hits you. So on the Saturday beforehand, I can redo a piece of content, add to it, or I can do those last final edits on it. Those Sundays I leave open just for me. That gives me time to just decompress for myself, but it also gives me time because I am a homeowner. I can do any updates on my home that I need to do or anything I need to fix home-wise. The way I use time blocking within those is because I also have a full-time job where I'm at work from 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. And when I get home from work, it's generally around 1 p.m. or 2, depending on if I took lunch. And then I take a nap from 2 to 4. I have a weird sleep schedule. I actually sleep 6 hours at night and then I take a 2-hour nap during the day. That's just what works best for my body, and it's kind of my way of resetting and going into job number 2. So from 4 to 5 is generally when I wake up and I have a little bit of time with my pups, and I also have dinner, and then from 5 to 8 every night is when I actually block off that amount of time, and I'll take that and just work on whatever it is for my business. So depending on what day of the week it is, I'll do a different task. I'll complete different tasks during that time. Time blocking is also very effective if you have an ongoing task. Like if you're a writer and you need to write every day, you can actually block out a period of time. Like if you block out from 1 to 3 in the afternoon every afternoon and you just write for 2 hours. That is a great way of using time blocking. I personally like task batching because I have a lot of tasks that need to be done and I don't necessarily need to have them done by a specific time. So task batching works a lot better for me. Time blocking might work better for you, and you can also use your calendar to block off whether it's time blocking or task batching. And obviously, if you want a time block, you can do that in your calendar just by blocking out periods of time and putting in what it is that you're going to do in that time. If you want a task batch while using your calendar, you can put it as an all-day event, and it'll just, in most electric calendars, it'll raise that event to the top. That way it'll give you your subject for the day, and that's how I like to do it. If you want more tips on how to effectively use your calendar as well as how to integrate different calendar platforms, I created a video exclusively on calendars, and it's linked in the description below, so check that out. And it comes with a worksheet to help you use those calendar tips in your life. So please let me know if any of this was helpful to you, and if it was, please hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more content on productivity and organization. And leave a comment below if you have any tips on how to be more productive using time blocking or time batching in your life.